Well, hi there. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to take a look at the what I would consider the ultimate reloading bench. I'd like to take credit for this, but you can see in this picture that this was in a Rifle magazine many, many years ago, and it gave me the I would say inspiration to build this in this room in my house. And you can see the reloading bench behind me, but we're going to do some B-roll and you can take a look at how this thing was made and just how solid it is. And at the time I made the bench, the claim on the in the Rifle magazine was just how solid this thing could be. And you want a good solid reloading bench if you're going to do progressive loading. You want a solid bench regardless. But if you're going to do progressive loading, it's got to be like Rock of Gibraltar hard. So you'll take a look here at the top. Now the top was three pieces of hardwood plywood glued and screwed together. It makes it about 2¼ inch thick, and that's important. And the reason it's important is it doesn't have any give at all. So when you sandwich three sheets of hardwood plywood together and glue them, there's just no bend, there's no give. Like if you just had a 3/4 inch top, it would tend to flex, but there's no flex in this whatsoever. Uh, the other part of it was I anchored to the wall with 2x4s where I bolted to the walls the joists. And you can see it underneath the bench. It goes all the way from one end of the room to the other end of the room because I didn't want there to be any place where this thing had any chance whatsoever to, have any give to it or any shake to it at all. So I just measured it that way, and that's the way I did it. On the right side of the cabinet, which would be this side here, you can see this is where I keep my bullets in bins. Now, there is that the binned bullets that I have, the lead cast bullets that I have in bins, are for my fun time. These are bullets that I take out and shoot. Practice rounds, offhand, a lot of offhand shooting, a lot of 45 Colt bullets, and that. The pistol bullets are pretty much just in bins. Rifle bullets, when I'm doing the cast bullet match, I keep in a different area on my bench, and I'll show that there. It's in the left side of the cabinet. And these cabinets are built, they have backs on them, and the shelves are built right into them, and they go clean to the ceiling, as you can see in the pictures, and all the way down. And they're attached to the studs behind, so they're not going to move either. And in some of the boxes, you'll see some of those boxes are marked with different kinds of bolts in them. And a friend of mine had showed me a particularly good way. You just get an old 9mm box, and that'll fit a 30 caliber bullet in there, really, really nice. And when I sort through and come up with my best bullets for match shooting, then I keep those bullets aside at 50 at a time, and I keep them, for match shooting only. So that's kind of the left side of it. You can see I have the reloading dies, and I have, my primers and jacketed bullets, and there's all kinds of stuff up there. I've got some bullet molds and factory crimps and all of the things that you need as a reloader. Uh, on the adapter that I have on the bench, you can see behind me there's a C-clamp, and you can see in these pictures here that this allows me to mount certain tools to just a half lab board, a 3/4 inch board, and you can just screw that C-clamp down on there, and it eliminates clutter on the bench. So that was kind of one of I seen it done on another. Uh, yeah, I seen it done on another bench, but it was kind of dovetailed in where you push it in and push it out. This was just a much easier way for me to do it. And you can see it works pretty slick. And you can take the trimmer off, and you can use your bullet sizer, and that's kind of cool there too. So the powder scale in the middle here behind me, you can see where I have my powder scale and the reloading heads for the Pro 2000, and then the shell plates underneath there. and underneath that, we're going to have, calipers. That's a reloader's best friend there. A screwdriver set, obviously, you're going to need a good screwdriver set, and another scale, electric scale. Now I have two electric scales, one over on the small reloading bench over there, and one on this one over here. Uh, you can see now a picture of the Pro 2000. It's mounted directly to the bench, and it was one of those things where at the time when I bought that was the latest greatest thing from RCBS. So I have it. I've used it for years and years and years. I've never had really any issues with it, so it worked pretty good. And on this other clip, you can see the green machine. I had bought the green machine years ago when eBay had first come out, and I didn't pay a ton of money for it. I got a lot of the things with the reloader, and I use it basically just for wad cutters and 38 special loads. So that's a nice kind of tool, but that's the thing, that's mounted fast to the bench too. So it's all loaded, ready to go. It's going to load one kind of ammo. As it has a powder disc in it, it's going to deliver 2 point something grains of bullseye. It's gonna seed a full wad cutter, and it's pretty much how I roll there. You can see here in this test, this is what I would call the nickel test. Now I stood a nickel on edge, and I pounded on the desk, and you can see, I pounded on the bench. You can see that nickel didn't. It won't push over. It won't fall. It's not wobbling. You can push it over. You can see in the video we can push it over. And I also reloaded, and I left the nickel, just standing. And you can go through this when you go through the video. You can even see where these big bins right here are moving as I run that big press, but the nickel never did fall. So I reloaded quite a few 45 long Colts, and that includes sizing and seating the bullets and powder charging and priming. So you have the full stroke of the rod going down, the sizing action going up, and then when you push up, you're putting the primer in. So you're putting force down and you're putting force up, and you can see the nickel never fell. So this is my reloading bench. You can see the big part of the reloading bench, and I didn't mention this, was the pipes that I use for the legs. Now the legs were made out of just 1 inch black pipe, and you go to your plumber store, and once you get everything set into place, you can measure just how much pipe you need and adding the flanges. And you can see I have two pipes on mine, which was plenty for this size bench. They were flanged at the bottom and they're flanged at the top, and they're screwed in, and that really gives the thing an immense amount of stability. I mean, it just won't move. And that's one of the things, the hallmarks of getting this thing as solid as it is just those two big pipes. And then they go in the flange, where the bottom flange is screwed into the hardwood floor, the upper flange is screwed into the bottom of the bench, and then both sides of the pipe are threaded. So you just take a pipe wrench and you just continuously turn it until it just draws everything down, and you can put your level on there, and pretty much you can see by the nickel nothing. I mean, it's a pretty level bench, so you don't have a bunch of things falling. You set bullets down, you don't have a bunch of things falling off of it. So that's one of the things I wanted to make sure it was good and level. And so that's my reloading bench. That's what I use. Over on this side of the room, you can see I have I have an independent priming machine, from RCBS, and I have the Summit press, and I have the RCBS powder measure, automatic powder measure, their Pro Master or whatever it is, light. But I use that when I'm doing serious reloading, what I call serious reloading. When I'm shooting jacketed ammunition out to, hundreds and hundreds of yards, sometimes 1,000 yards, then, every little bit, I mean, Every variance you can take out of reloading helps your accuracy. There's just no doubt about that. So I use every advantage I can. And over the years, it's been costly, but it's not been cost prohibitive. I mean, I didn't buy it all at once. So a lot of these tools are years and years and years apart. I used, you can see here behind me, I used the Lyman Spar T for a better part of my first 20 years reloading. I didn't have any other reloading equipment. As a matter of fact, most of my equipment was out in the garage. I had an old garage, and I did that simply because you know, this room was taken by my kids. This is one of the bedrooms in my house, and we still have guest rooms, and we still have the master room, and then the downstairs and that. But you know, I converted this, a couple years after the kids had, grown up and left, and they're living their own lives, and I wanted a place where I could, I had this stuff sitting all over the place for years, and I wanted to put it in one place. So, as I come up here to do my reloading, I'm not looking for, oh man, that's down in the garage, or oh geez, this is in my tool box, or oh that was down in the cellar. I did a lot of the sizing of the bullets down this because my wife didn't like the smell, and I didn't want to sit out in the cold, so I do a lot of my sizing in that. And that Alox has a smell all of its own that comes up through, but I can close this room off. I have a window here and a fan. When I use anything that's smelly or stinky, she doesn't get too on me about it anyway. So that's it. That's the what I would consider the ultimate reloading bench. The big thing for me was stability. Make sure that everything was consistent, and when I run any of the presses, especially the progressive presses, that I didn't have a lot of things falling. And that was one of the things with my old bench that I had. I'd start using a progressive press, and things that I had on a little shelf above me, they would start rattling. The next thing you know, things would be falling. And, I wanted to eliminate that. And I have eliminated down to zero. When I load, nothing moves, nothing, there's nothing that comes down at me. So, hey, I appreciate you watching my video. I hope you learned something. If you're looking to uh, build a reloading bench in a room. This is a pretty small room, and if you're looking to make it really really sturdy, check this out. I mean, this is a worthwhile way to do it. I feel it's nothing new. Like I said, it was in Rifle Magazine, and I just kind of saw it. I didn't have any plans for it. I just took the picture in my mind, and then I thought this is how I wanted to do it. Now, I can't be for sure that his was as thick as this one, but it might have been. But, that's what it is. So, hey, I appreciate you joining me today. And as always, you guys have a great day, and I will see you again next week.